Hi Clever Piggles, welcome to today's handwriting lesson, which is going to be using the letter J. Make sure that your pencil is sharp, that you're seated correctly at your table, and that you've got everything that you need to be able to do this lesson. We're going to start with a warm-up, which is just the date. Now, whatever date it is for you, that's what you need to use. So you might need to double check the calendar, check with your teacher, or if you're learning from home, you might need to check with your parent what today's date is, and then you can get started. It won't be the same date as me necessarily, so just use this as your warm-up across the top line. I'm going to pretend it is Monday. Oh, my slide just moved. Let's try that again. Monday. So it might be Monday for you. It might not. If it's Tuesday, make sure you're writing Tuesday. It's a good way to make sure that you're recording when you actually complete your work. I'm going to pretend it is Monday, the 4th of May. You can see I haven't done the best job on that T there, so that's okay. This is my warm-up. I'm not too worried about that. Monday, the 4th of May, which is Star Wars Day. Make sure you put the year, which is 2020. Excellent. So now we can move on to starting with a capital. And like I said, we are starting with capital J. Now, J can be a tricky one because it has a little bit of a tail at the end of it. And it sometimes means that you could go a little bit too big, a little bit too small. So what we do is we come up to this top dotted line here and we bring our stroke down with a small curve at the bottom. And I want you to guess sort of where halfway is between these two lines, because that is where you'll stop. So just to show you mine, start at the top, I bring it down, and then I curve up about halfway here. That's where I'm going to stop for my J. Now, depending on the state that you're in or even the country that you're in, J's can change in terms of how you form it. Some like to bring their J down, have their tail, and then put a line at the top. So you just need to check with your teacher or your parent which version you're going to use. So I'm going to alternate. I'm going to alternate between this one, and then I'm going to put the line at the top on this one. But you notice the bottom section is still the same. So regardless of where you are writing this, I'm very sure whoever is reading it would understand your writing regardless of which version that you use. Now, when it comes to a lowercase j, everyone does it the same, which is with a dot at the top. So this whole J shape that we did is going to be exactly the same down here in lowercase, except we're moving it. So up the top here, our J went up into the sky and the bottom part was in the grass. Nothing was down here in the dirt. When it comes to our lowercase j though, we will be putting we will be putting that little tail down into that dirt section, which I will show you right now. So this time we start at our top straight line. We come down with our little tail, same thing, about halfway between those lines, and we dot at that top line. Okay, let's try that again. Starting at the top straight line, down with our little tail and a dot at the top. Now I'm going to show you what I see a lot in my time as a teacher. I see this, and you really don't need to do that. We can see that very clearly, and that was a simple dot. So I'm going to put a cross on that because that's definitely not what you need to do. That puts pressure on your fingers that you don't need to use. It can make your book quite messy because when your hand goes on top of that, it will rub it, and it takes up extra time that you don't need to take. There's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you remember, we only need to do 6. 6 is plenty for practice and a good way to leave space in case you need to get feedback from your teacher, especially if it's a lovely scratch and sniff sticker. They're the best. Okay, let's do some words now, starting with the letter J. Let's start with jump. Can't practice J without the word jump. And we have practiced, I think, all these other letters here. So that should make it easy to focus on the J at the beginning. And see how you can still see the dot at the top there because I made sure I didn't take those lines too far down. Our next word is jet. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when people go too far down. Like that. I'll still finish with jet. So this down here, it's way too long. And what's going to happen is if I try and write a letter here that needs to come up, it's going to cross over and become a bit messy and not easy to understand. Okay, our next word is juice. My son loves apple juice. At the moment, that's his favorite. Now, the great thing about practicing the word juice is that we need to remember a dot for the J and a dot for the I. So hopefully you don't forget either one of those. Okay, let's try the letter J in the middle of a word. Let's go with object. And the letter J right in the middle of that word. This is good because we've got a couple of letters that go up to our top dots and our J that goes down. Next word is Inja. Another good one because we've got our I that needs a dot as well as our J that needs a dot. So make sure you should see 2 for the word Inja. And our last one is enjoy. Another great way to practice this because we are going to go down to our bottom dotted line 2 times. Once for the J and then again for our Y. Excellent. Okay, we're going to have some fun drawing a picture now with our letter J, and we are going to use a lowercase j for this one. So we need to do 6. So 6 J's across here. And I'm not spacing them out very well, am I? I need to remember that for my next one. That's not really much space there for a finger space. So I will remember that for the next one. We are going to turn our J's into jellyfish. And the best way that you can do that is by pretending that this is already a tentacle. Tentacle? Are they called tentacles on a jellyfish? And we're going to curve across the top, do some wobbly lines, and then a few more of those. You can give him some eyes, even though jellyfish don't really have eyes. It's almost like a little umbrella across the top there, except jellyfish, J, sorry, is not in umbrella. So we're going to make jellyfish instead of an umbrella. You can change colors for this, maybe use purple, maybe do multicolored jellyfish. But remember, don't take too much time because this is just for a bit of fun while we practice our letter J. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. See you in the next lesson.